Hey, it's Tess. For those that don't know me, I'm a bariatric patient. I am in my 9th year post-surgical. Doc V challenged me to go live some years ago, and I haven't stopped, but I need to get better at it. So today I thought I would go live and jump in before this day gets away from me. I've been doing a lot of studying, and I went back to writing my book again. Not writing it. I'm going to clean it up and move forward with it. But I thought today I would talk about something that's been going on a lot that some people know about, some people don't. Probably most people do know. But what I'm going to do is talk just a little bit. I decided, since I've been studying a lot about money and about life insurance and about infinite banking concept, a lot of the things that some of the people around me know about, I thought I'm going to look up an article just simply about what are the 10 misconceptions about money, just because I was kind of curious what is on the internet. I'll look up things every once in a while just to see what's being said. So I have on sticky notes what it said. And I'll start with a quote. For those that don't know, I've passed my life insurance exam because I left the traditional insurance industry working in the accounting department, and I'm doing things differently, which is part of what my journey is now. And so I've been reading a book. Now, this is, as you can tell, I've got colors everywhere in this book. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a quote out of here by Ludwig von Mises. And it says, "No one can find a safe way out for himself if society is sweeping towards destruction. Therefore, everyone in his own interests must thrust himself vigorously into the intellectual battle. None can stand aside with unconcern. The interests of everyone hang in the results." And what I thought is interesting, a lot about this book that I'm reading, this is part of what I need for an exam that I would like to pass in the next week or two at the most. What is interesting about this book is it talks about money, but it talks about money in that if we're going to make changes, it's going to start with the individual. We each, as a person, have to take responsibility and make the changes we can personally so that we can move forward, not putting our hopes and our dreams and our finances in the hands of somebody else. So I thought that I would look at this, and I had several meetings today, and one of them was actually related to this new line that I'm working on. And so what I'll tell you all is, if you send me a direct message, I can send you this book in PDF format for free. But anyways, this is The Millionaire Mystery, which is Chris Nagel and Brent Kessler, which are the two that are founding what I'm following now. Since I left accounting, I'm going into teaching people about these banking concepts. But back to the idea of what are the misconceptions about money, what's really kind of interesting is a lot of these followed me as a kid as I was growing up, and a lot of them I've had to debunk along the way. And the first one, many of us know, and this one I can take right back to my mother, but money is the root of all evil. And many of us grew up with that, and I actually had that in my own life, and I apologize, I didn't realize my security cameras were over my head. But the root of all evil, many people in my family thought that money was the root of all evil. I can remember even my mom, bless her heart, she loves like Twilight Zone and those kind of shows. And I'm going to tell you, not me, not at all. Don't want any part of them. But it would show things like if somebody got money, that meant somebody in their family died. You know, there were a lot of really negative attachments to money. And I realized as I got older, I had those attachments. And then truthfully, there were things in my family life that people were actually very seriously injured or removed from this world connected to money. So I have definite strong opinions about it. And I myself, even as much as I've worked in the financial industry, have had to learn to let go of what I thought I knew and to look at it differently. So number one is, money isn't the root of evil. Money may actually elevate people and make them more visible, but if they're a bad guy when they have lots of money, they're a bad guy when they don't have lots of money. So that's one of those things that, number one on this list, debunked. I don't believe it. I did believe it for a period of time, but I don't anymore. The second thing they talk about is there's plenty of time. What I'll tell you is, I wish the things that I know right now, I had learned much younger in my life. It could have changed the trajectory of my life and for many people around me. Because what I've learned, I'd like to share with other people and see people live life differently, take control of it in a different way and understand things differently. So is there plenty of time? I'm going to say that it's never too late to start, and it's never too late to learn, and it's never too late to change directions. But there's always that part of you that wishes you had done something sooner. So plenty of time. You can't change yesterday. You can change today. But if I could go back and do it differently, I would. But I can't live in the past. I have to move forward. So then the next one it talks about is more money means you're more happy. I think it gives you more opportunities. Happiness, I think, is an inside job. So you have to do your meditations, your mantras, find the things that will make you feel good. Because I think money can actually cause you problems or it can cause you to be happy. It depends on how you apply it and what you do with it. So again, that's like the third one on this article of the misconceptions about money. And these aren't really directly connected to, well, I guess they are indirectly connected to what I'm studying and learning and how I'm working now. But it's just all these myths that we've learned through time that I guess really need to be debunked. So the fourth one they came up with is, you need lots of money to save money. Well, what I'm going to tell you is you just got to start. A lot of us, there's the richest... Oh, sorry. Something just popped up on my computer as a message. But for all of us, you just start. One of the rule of thumbs, no matter where you want to go back, is like if you look at the idea of tithing, 10%. If you take care of yourself at 10%, that will give you an opportunity to move forward. But again, you have to start where you're at and keep moving forward. The fifth one they talked about is that you get to retire when you're 60. These are all myths that they're debunking in this article. And I'm going to say, I have a theory, and people may agree or disagree with me, and that's okay. But I don't want to retire. And I have a reason I don't want to retire. I think the brain needs to be active. I think you need to be moving forward. I think you need, the brain is a muscle just like every other part of your body. If you don't use it, you lose it, and I'm not interested in losing that. So if I can keep it active by continuing to educate, continuing to learn, working in a different way, then I'm absolutely going to do that because I think it increases the quality of your life and gives you opportunities to touch people in different ways. The next one they talk about is, I don't have what it takes. Well, what I'm going to say is, in this process of time, or this length of time since the lockdown, I've found that what I thought about the way I worked, I always looked at other people like running their own businesses or working differently outside of the W-2 world. I always thought that was something that was unreachable for somebody like me. And I'm going to say that's really not the case. And I am doing things very differently. And I'm sure I freak a lot of people in my circle out. But hey, you know, unless you try, you don't know. So you just got to keep trying. And what the number one lesson nowadays is, you just keep trying. If you trip up, you go in another direction, you take another avenue, you look at another opportunity, but you just keep moving. And I'll say I'm happier now than I was. Everybody knows, anybody who knows me knows that I worked in insurance accounting for over 30 years. That was my lifeblood. I was very good at it. Every once in a while, they'd let me escape briefly to go help with a project in another department. But because I was very strong in that area, they always pulled me back. But the ironic thing is I'm still kind of using the same things, but in a different way. So I think that's where we can kind of benefit ourselves too, is what skills do you have, and can you adapt them in a different way to give yourself an opportunity to utilize what you know, but maybe in a way that will be more rewarding for you. And I am doing that now. And like I said, I'll if you send me a direct message, I'll send you the PDF of this for free, because this is connected to what I'm doing now. But it is this idea that everything I thought I knew has turned out to be maybe a little thread of truth in there, but there's a lot of different things that I could have done. So other things that they talked about, and I'll go through these quickly because I don't want to keep you guys on forever. And I know it's been a while since I've been chatting, but they say money equals security. There's a lot of rich people that have some difficulties in their life. I think it's all about smart, being smart in situations and in how you plan your life, how you handle your finances, how you handle your personal life. Some know that about 2 years ago, I ran into human traffickers in a rest area right after lockdown came down, when the world first started opening up. And I'll tell you, that scared the crap out of me. And it had nothing to do with money. It had to be being in the wrong place. But thankfully, I recognized a problem before anything materialized. I was able to get out of it because I recognized a problem before anything serious happened. But more money doesn't equal security, because money wouldn't have changed anything. Anybody could have been in the situation that I was in at that moment. More money means fewer worries. I'm just going to say it just creates more different types of worries. I've often thought it was funny, and I'll share this because it just popped into my head. I worked in insurance, mutually owned companies, publicly traded companies, privately owned companies. So I saw a lot of different things, and it kind of talks about like money is security and money gives you fewer worries. And I remember one day that I walked up to like the chief legal office in our insurance company, because we would have, like, our home office had 3 or 4 floors, and accounting was always like up on the top with legal, HR, anybody like that was up at the top. But I remember I walked outside of legal one time, and this was a publicly traded company, and they had 2 bins, and they were just full of like legal documents. And since I studied law when I was very young, because I thought I wanted to be an attorney, I was really curious, and I'm like, so, hey, what are all these? Are these lawsuits? And she goes, well, yeah. She goes, once a month I clear them. And I'm like, well, what are they on? Because in insurance, there are always lawsuits. Claims trigger lawsuits just because people think they didn't get enough, or they want more, or whatever. It's a natural course of business to have lawsuits in the claims area. But this was like the corporate area. And I'm like, these are the things that we have to disclose on our quarterly statements, that we have lawsuits. And I go, why don't I know about this? Because of the quarterly statements. And she goes, well, this is the natural course of business. And I go, but what is it? And she said, well, you have, this is kind of funny. She goes, you have the stockholders that think we made too much money, and that's these lawsuits in this basket. And she said, we have the stockholders that think we didn't make enough money, and their lawsuits are in this basket. So once a month or so, once every 2 weeks or a month, they'd go through these lawsuits from stockholders, because they were publicly traded, and they would just more or less summary judgment and get rid of them, because they were, everything is documented that, these are forward-looking statements. You can't guarantee the results, and it was frivolous lawsuits, so they would be dismissed. So they weren't anything that, as the financial statement preparer, I needed to know, because they were considered in the normal course of business. But I thought, wow, you got 2 boxes, one that's filing lawsuits because you made too much, and one that's filing because you didn't make enough. But that's publicly traded companies. So just because there's more money doesn't mean there's less worries, because it's just a different kind of worry. But I thought it was kind of interesting, and that I would share this. And the reason is, I'm going to start talking more about money, but today I wasn't really prepared. So I looked up for, reasons about money, just to kind of start tasting the water a little bit, and to get back into doing these lives again. Because what I'm doing is, like I said, I have my life license, and I'm studying for a practitioner's exam that I'm really close to finishing. But I want to share what I've been learning. And I've had a few of my friends reach out to me, and I want to, for those that are willing to be open to learn, maybe help them find a new direction or something to research. Because anything I would ever say, people need to know, like, and understand it, or not move forward with it. But I know for myself, my life has changed, not only health-wise, but financial-wise, the way I work. Everything changed when I allowed myself to realize that I didn't know everything that I thought I knew, that there could be things that would direct me in a different direction. Could I sometimes misstep? Yeah. But do I have the ability and the years of experience to adjust my path and to look for some other way to move forward? And I do have those things. So for me, I'm still working in insurance, because, back when I was really young and they told me that if they got me in, it would never let go. It kind of is a true statement. Insurance is one of those areas that if you get in, you're never out of it. It's a lifetime thing, or at least in my case, that's what it turned out to be. But I wanted to get back live and share this with you guys. I also wanted to offer that I will send you a PDF of this book if you direct message me and give me your email address. And then I wanted to say I'm going to continue moving forward. I was challenged to get my book out because many know I wrote a book a couple of years ago. So I've been working on that too. And I know I've kind of disappeared, but I'm going to come back to the forefront because I believe in everything I'm doing. And if I can share it and help other people to reach for more, then that's what I want to do, is see everyone. I don't want to see people exist. I think too many people in life are existing day to day instead of reaching for something more. And you just might find there's something magical in reaching for something more. You might help more people than you ever dreamed possible. You might reach and meet new people that you would never have had an opportunity to meet. So I just wanted to touch base because time gets away really, really quickly. But like I said, if you want me to send you a PDF of this, just send me a DM with your email and I will get that out to you. But in the meantime, don't let anything that you learned younger stop you from moving forward in different ways. I grew up with every superstition there was. My grandmother had, bless her heart, love her to death, but she had so many superstitions that if you walked over a person, you had to walk back over them and go around them to undo the bad luck. I'm sure I make her crazy right now because I have cats, but if a black cat crossed your path, she'd make you put X's on the windshield and turn around and go the other way. But those were just things she learned. And it is kind of funny when I think about it because she lived on a farm and she had 39 dogs and more cats than she could ever count. But she carried superstitions with her. I'm sure there were truths to some of them, but many of them, even if they were true in those days, didn't carry forward to the current day. So for all of us, can you take a minute and think about what is it that you think you know, that you were taught with the best of intentions that might not be true anymore? Because the best part of my life has been these past probably 5-10 years, probably even beginning at the time that I had the surgery to change my life. For those that don't remember, I was at a BMI of just over 60, and I'm now getting close to my 10 years. And the life I would have led if I hadn't have challenged everything I thought I knew and tried to keep moving forward probably would be over right now. And I wouldn't be experiencing the things I'm experiencing now so that I can share them with you and to live my life differently than what I ever thought was an opportunity for me. So, like I said, reach out if you want. Give me direct message me your email and I'll send you this in PDF. And then keep your mind open for opportunities to learn something different than what you think you know. Because I'll tell you, there's been so many things that I thought I knew that I found out that maybe there was a better way and I just didn't know about it until recently. But it's opened some doors and given me some opportunities that have made life a lot more interesting, a lot more fun, and it's really just begun. So join me on this journey and let's see what we can create together. Thank you. Have a beautiful night and we'll talk soon.